All right, let's dive in, Rishi. We've got a lot to cover.
You got a lot to cover. I'm super excited about this one. I'm on the inverse of Val. So Val had the flu. I've had a lot of coffee. So I'll be talking fast. Feel free to. I have the chat open here on the right. Feel free to ask questions. I love to pause and move things around. I also have our platform open on the right, so I can go into the platform as well. The big thing that we've launched outside of the product, though, that I wanted to highlight, we're going to highlight this towards the end as well, but is our zero-party data playbook. It's getting a ton of traction. Check it out. There are so many things you can do with Digio that it's sometimes a little overwhelming at first, but if you use them all together, it's a really powerful system to unlock a lot of revenue on your site. So if you haven't, it's a free ebook. Go download it. We'll put this, it's in the chat already. So check it out. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that we learned from you guys, like our customers, what works for them, what doesn't, because we see a lot of customers A/B tests, and then we try to productize that as well. So every feature that we develop comes from success stories like this, and we threw it all in the ebook. And we plan on this. This has gotten so much traction that we plan on continuing to update this, and then we actually train our internal team on this playbook as well. So we consider this playbook almost the playbook of how Digio even operates, how we talk to customers, how we think about strategy, how we think about product development. So our heart and soul really went into this playbook. We spent a ton of time on it, and we're excited about continuing it as well. So definitely check it out if you haven't had a chance yet. It's a fast read. You could read the whole thing in like 20 minutes. So it's a fast read, but you can also deep dive into it as well. All
Yeah,
right.
I want to say one thing about the playbook. It is Klaviyo focused. And if you're not on Klaviyo, that's okay. You can still get the playbook and take the strategies, and you'll have to find the help docs that tell you how to do it on your platform. But I'm a huge fan of like take something that works on one platform and how do I do that in my platform? So just replace the word Klaviyo with whatever your platform is, and then go find the how-to docs on your platform's knowledge base.
Or ping us. We know how it
Yeah.
all works. We work with
Yep.
a lot of other ESPs as well, so ping us about it and we can help you guys out with that. That's a really good point, Val. Thank you. All right, we made a ton of progress. The big theme for the last 3 months and continuing on, you're going to see a ton of other updates as well, is our editor. So you're going to see a lot of UI, UX updates driven by Marnie, which is great on our team. So we have a new UI look and feel. So if you've logged into the platform in the last, few weeks, you've probably seen a new color, a new way of kind of highlighting specific features, making it a little bit easier on the eyes. There's a lot of things you can do in the editor, and so our goal has been to kind of make it much easier to use by hiding some of the things. So you're going to see that here as well. So there's a few extra menus here as well, but the main thing is kind of pulling it back a little bit, making it easier to feel like it's easier to use. So we have a whole new UI look and feel, and you're going to see a lot more updates coming out over the next 3 months based on this. So a lot of behind the scenes updates have been going on as well. So we actually have reconfigured a lot of our code of the editor as well. So you're just seeing right here a taste of what's to come and what we're about to ship out. We added a ton of toggles. The one thing we realize is when there's a new customer that's coming to the platform, they get a little overwhelmed on all the things that we offered. So what we have done is by default now, we're toggling different sections on and off. And this also has helped us kind of clean up the code behind the scenes as well to you're going to see more to come based on that as well. So we added toggles like the air, anything that isn't really needed right away, we're putting behind a toggle so that you don't have to use it, so you don't have to worry about it as well. But you can also just toggle it on and get those added features as well. So you're going to see we put toggles all throughout the editor to turn off things that are not defaulted on. So we added it in the placeholder, we added to the responsive settings, a lot of the screen overlays. If you already have a screen overlay background, we have it toggled on, for example. So we added a lot of defaults here as well. Merge tags. This is actually one thing that I wish a lot more of our customers use that don't know about. So I'll talk about that a little bit, especially with Klaviyo and Iterable. You can actually do progressive personalized forms. So this is an overlooked feature that I highly recommend. But we added behind a toggle as well. And then we also launched a bunch of custom widgets. So more to come on this one is the ability to enable new widgets inside the platform. So our first widget being spin to win, which is really powerful. You can configure it. change all sorts of things. I'm going to talk about it a little later, but we have more widgets coming soon. So we want to create a place where you can add easily additional widgets in this drop down as well. Um, so we also added more toggles here. So when you're going to come into the platform, you might see things are missing, but actually it's probably just behind a toggle. So we just wanted to highlight that for you guys. The other thing I wanted to highlight here is the ability, before you have to turn on and off a button, or you would have to turn on and off a text block. Instead, we kind of went to this more visible on off. So now you're going to see like an eye icon right here that you can turn on and off. It's pretty cool. It kind of makes more sense from a UX perspective. Technically, the button's not going anywhere. It's actually just hiding it or displaying it on the box itself. Any questions so far? Feel free to put it in the chat. I know I'm going pretty quickly through these. This is a big deal right here. The ability, what we found out, especially if you're building out multi-step forms, multi-step quizzes, you're using the same button over and over again. And sometimes that button has CSS in it, has a custom font in it, and you have to go in and like update things. So we added the ability to delete stuff. We also added a quick duplicate. So we did it. The duplicate button now exists everywhere. It exists for text, images, buttons, HTML, and it just duplicates everything. And it should be a game changer. One thing we're going towards is, especially on quizzes, is being able to build quizzes and campaigns really fast that are high converting in minutes. And we felt that the duplication functionality has to be there in order to make that happen. That's kind of our vision here. And so we're progressing.
Duplicates getting a ton of love in the chat, Rishi. Like everyone, Andrew called it a game changer before you did.
Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, so I love that you guys love it. So duplicate, check it out if you haven't. It's awesome. Our design team loves it. And then, of course, this came before, but I just want to remember you also can duplicate. There's two ways to duplicate pages. The first way is you just click on a page and you hit duplicate. The second way is you can add an extra page. You just click this button, and when you click add extra page, you can actually have a drop down of which page do you want to duplicate from. And of course, you can start from scratch. But what this will do is they'll pull in all your pages. So if you're like you have like an 8-step form, 8-step quiz, you can just say, oh, actually, I want to copy from a answer page. I want to copy from a page that has image-based buttons. And then you can hit apply, and it'll just duplicate the page based on maybe extra page 2. So that's an exciting, this was launched, I think, a few months ago. It's already been huge, saving a lot of time for us. So super excited about this. All right, moving on. So breakpoints, we realized that breakpoints was kind of a Digioh term. And so one thing you're gonna also see over the next 3 to 6 months is we're pulling away from Digioh terms that we kind of invented in our own brains that made sense to us, but going towards more of a industry standards. So this is the first of many. Breakpoints are now called screen size, right? That's the size of your screen. It's going to expand and contract based on the screen size. There's a few things that we did here. The first thing we did is we just renamed breakpoints to screen size. We didn't want to move away from eliminating breakpoints. We wanted to make it a screen size because people do, especially with embedded forms, people do need a desktop, mobile, and tablet version. And sometimes they need another one for really big screens. And we're actually seeing a lot of people use us in retail, so on very specific layouts. So they do want screen sizes. So we don't remove the notion of screen sizes. But the big thing we're doing for like web and mobile is most themes are just going to be optimized with just 2 in mind. And that's all you really need. Like 95% of the case, you just need a desktop and mobile. And that's really it. So we kind of hide the ability, the need to really want to go beyond that. But if you need it, we have this thing that you can click on, and then you can add an additional screen size and create another kind of layout as well.
Rishi, what's the all devices one?
Also, for pop-ups, you don't really need a mobile version. It's fully responsive, so you can just have one that fully expands and contrasts. Most clients do want a mobile one, but you really don't need it because it'll just auto resize. So that'd be a good one. So if we don't see a mobile, we'll say all devices. So it's really obvious that's going to be for everything. And we kind of made these really fun icons as well. You can also drag and drop this thing in the editor now, so you can kind of move it around so it's not in your way. Awesome. All right, this is a fun one that Val created. I love these GIFs. So before what would happen is you create a box and it'll be at the bottom of the page. So I'm gonna go in my account, you would create a box and it'll be all the way down here. And it's like, well, I just created something, where'd it go? And now what we do is we just put it right at the top. And this has been a big thing that our team really wanted, and it made a lot of sense. And so we kind of added that in. So hopefully now you're seeing the campaigns that you just created at the top of your page. And the other thing that most people don't know is that the boxes run top down. So this box, it will always be the top priority. So let's say these two boxes have the exact same conditions. It'll be this one that shows. So there is an order to the madness here. Usually people don't have the same pop-up with the same conditions. But if you did, this could be a cascading effect here of which one gets priority. And now the new one will get priority. So the other thing here is you could duplicate boxes right below. So before you would duplicate the box. So we added this feature in where the box goes to the top, and then you duplicate the box. And when you duplicated it, it also went to the bottom. Now, if you duplicate it, it just goes right underneath the main one as well. So that just makes things life a little easier. You kind of understand where things are going. The duplicate functionality is powerful for A/B testing. So that's where it really makes sense. You want to duplicate the box, make a few changes, maybe change the image, maybe change the text, maybe change the offer. I like to, if I'm going to change something in A/B test, I like to, make it a name, and then I like to also add that as like the variation name in here as well. So then when I go to A/B testing, it's very obvious which ones which two I'm A/B testing as well. Awesome. Any questions? I'm monitoring the chat here. Any questions? Um, so we have doubled down on Shopify on the R&D front. We have a ton of Shopify customers. The beauty of Digioh is that we work with all platforms. So we work with WooCommerce, we work with homegrown systems, we work with Commerce Cloud. But most of our customers, I would say 80% are Shopify. And so we've added a few other Shopify features that I think you guys are going to love. If you have a Shopify feed, which we automatically grab, now with our weighting system, so if you're using our quiz solution, with weighting, we can actually bring in every single piece of data that's in Shopify. So this would be your tags, that's the most popular one, the name, the descriptions. And we added this auto apply. So now you can just type in kind of what you want to weight and then so if you're not familiar with our quiz product, this is where we can recommend products based on inputs here. So they click on a button. What are we going to weigh and what are we not going to weigh? What are we going to recommend? So now you can recommend things based on Shopify tags, and we auto-complete them. So you're not like kind of copy pasting from Shopify. We actually read all your data and it's auto-selected. So you can type in like, dog, and it'll find everything with dog in it. So this is a powerful new update that I've been using for a lot of our quiz customers.
Yeah, it's going to save a bunch of people frustration because I think we had customers who like that big dog treat bundle. If they were writing it themselves, they would write big dog treats bundle and forget that that's not the exact name of the tag in Shopify. So then there were conflictions, right? Like things didn't work properly. So with this autocomplete, it will exactly match what's in Shopify and just save you so much time and frustration.
100%. Definitely check it out if you're using weights. It's already applied to your account. There's also a lot of operators that you can pick and choose from. Timothy Green asked a great question. I'm just going to take it right now. Are there any plans to introduce a line to feature in Digioh? Sometimes I'm working with lots of text and form fields, and it would be nice to be able to hit a button and have them all align left, right, or center based on a predetermined object within the box. Fantastic question. So we are about to introduce, and this is going to be in the next release, but we're about to introduce things like snap to grid, grid lines. When you click on a button, it'll be aligned. You can see actually where it is visually. And then things like alignment are coming after that. So 100% that is on the roadmap, the near-term roadmap. But before we get to that, we have to do a bunch of other things like the grid lines and the snap to grid. And that is coming out. It's actually in pre-production. Don't tell anyone, but yeah, that is coming out very soon. So thank you for that question. This is a big one also for Shopify. You could target based on items in the cart. So this is really powerful. We can actually read the item in the cart. So for example, this is great for upsells. This is great for exit intent. This is great for, hey, are you sure you don't need those batteries kind of situation? So based on the actual items in the cart, you can combine this with something like, in this case, hey, this item's in the cart, and there is, let's give them a free shipping coupon because it doesn't qualify for free shipping. Maybe it's $23 and you got to qualify for $25. Let's give them a quick free shipping coupon. Let's not lose that revenue. You can combine this with a lot of other rules too. So definitely check this out. You can do dynamic banners based on items in the cart. If you're not on Shopify, this is also possible with a little bit of jQuery. So we can potentially finagle that as well. But this is all custom, easily built in for Shopify. But if you're not, let us know. This is a big one for exit intent as well. So what we see a lot of people is they leave without purchasing, right? And that is the biggest loss of revenue. They come to the site, they add an item to the cart. So they made it so far that they added an item to the cart. That is the most interested buyer at that point. And then they leave for some reason. It could be because of whatever reason. Maybe you're not offering free shipping for that specific product. Maybe you're not, maybe the something's off about it. And there's a few things we can do there. We can do, hey, a survey maybe. Why are you leaving? Let's understand. So we have really easy survey tools. You can also do a banner based on the cart value. So we have really good banners that actually automatically calculate how much is left in the cart. And so we add these native rules as well. In order to see these Shopify rules, you do have to enable our Shopify extension. So let us know if you need help with that, but it should be right in the extensions where you can enable it. Any questions at all? And then, yeah, Yvette, if for homegrown systems like yours, just let us know. Sometimes it's in the data layer, sometimes it's HTML that's structured, and we might be able to read it and catch it. So we'd have to kind of get a screenshot and understand the site a little bit to see if we can build a custom condition for it. All right, new for you. This is Val's fun section where it's probably new for you. So tons of theme updates. One thing I like to do sometimes just for fun at night is just go through our themes. It's like a Pinterest board. So Nick and the design team, they're constantly adding new themes, and we take feedback for themes. So if there's a theme that you want to see, let us know. So there's tons of themes here that I like to. One thing we did was also we made it expanded. Before it was kind of in a more narrow screen. So definitely check it out. A lot of great use cases. We kind of cleaned up our use cases a little bit as well. And then you can also sort by box type. I like to actually view these themes. This one's a really popular, and we also shift things around. We always monitor our top 15 themes and move it around and change it around as well. One thing we also did is if it's a multi-step, we kind of include it in screenshots as well. So it's really obvious what's happening there. So definitely check it out. Nick launched some holiday themes. So we have Mother's Day coming up. This is a fun one. And it combines, we also created a banner as well. So we have Mother's Day themes, and you can check it out in our holiday section. If there's a specific holiday that's coming up that we don't know about, we have a lot of international customers. So let us know. So maybe there's some niche ones. Maybe there's a random sale that's happening in your neck of the woods. Let us know. Maybe you want to make up a holiday. So let us know. We support all holidays, including the one that you make up. So we love that. All right, this is Val's baby. Val has been a launching machine. And so our goal has been helping out people get more out of our platform. Most people just have a quiz. Some people only have a pop-up. We want people to use and embrace everything that we do. And so Val, I'll let you kind of talk about this one right here.
Yeah, so this is a little checklist that helps you walk through the platform, get the most out of it. This will show up if you are new to the platform. So if you're starting a new account with Digioh, welcome, and we'll get you started using this checklist. So it walks you through the steps of building a form, creating your quiz, integrating, and then publishing to your site. So you don't have to feel like you're alone, kind of hunting and pecking through the platform to figure it out. You can just follow this checklist, and the next one will appear. The ability to click into the next one and get those steps will appear once you complete the first one. And I don't know. I love a checklist. I like to put things on my checklist that I've already done and then check them off. So I really love this checklist, and I hope that our new customers do too.
And if you're an existing customer and you have like a new user that's joining Digio, let us know about it. So maybe we can do something for them. Maybe we can just manually send them something. I believe this is only
Hmm.
show up potentially for new people. Because if you have a few boxes and you're already doing stuff, we don't show this
Right.
to you. But if you want to engage, let us know.
Yep.
Hosted preview links have been awesome. So one thing I want to highlight is that you can go into any box and you can click on this right here, and this will open up the hosted preview link. You can now take this and
Wait,
like
where did you click, Rishi? Show them, like
I
you said
click
this right
the
here,
image. Mhm.
that image. Hmm.
I click this image, and then you could copy paste this and email this to your team, emails to yourself. So maybe pull it up on a mobile phone and test it out. It doesn't have to be live on your site. Before, what you had to do was you have to add like a condition, and then you had to like put a parameter, and then you have to test it on your site. We wanted to eliminate that hassle. And the other thing that's cool here is that if you click on this, Pablo created this really cool widget where you could see what's happening, in real time. So, hey, if something going wrong, maybe the integration's not working, you could see all that stuff. Maybe you have an extension added. You'll be able to see all of the diagnostics they're aware. So it's a great testing tool before you try to test it on your site as well. And then you could share this design. It's a fully functional design that you have. And one thing that's cool is we're about to make this so that you can use it even for campaigns. Maybe you want to link this in an email. So that's coming out. That's future facing. But that's coming out soon as well, which is going to be huge. So definitely play around with this. This is pretty powerful, and share it with us. In
Two
addition,
questions on that. Two questions. One
yeah,
is, do you have to be logged in to see that? If I get a link from someone and I'm not logged into Digio, can I see what they're sending me?
yes, the great question. You don't have to be a Digio user. So maybe you want to send this to your boss, or you want to send this to like your team. Hey, this is what we're going to launch. It's a big deal. You can play around with it. Maybe you want to pull it up in Browser Stack and see how it looks across random browsers. You could do that
Yep.
too with that link. So
Yep. And my other question is, if I do test that form, will I see, does it test the sending into my ESP as well? So I fill out the form. Do I get that person added to my Klaviyo or Iterable or whatever?
yeah, absolutely. The integration still works.
Great.
So for example, yeah, that's a great call out. Test the integration. Make sure it's going into your list. You definitely don't want to be that guy that launches something and the integration is not hooked up exactly how you want. I love testing it out there. Make sure the integration is added right here too. By the way, we added this kind of cool menu here as well. If you guys haven't checked it out, so you can see the integrations tied to it as well. If you have an extension or custom JS or anything going behind the scenes, it also works with that too. So everything works with that preview link. Great question. The other kind of cool thing is with our themes, these are all preview links as well. So for example, like the holiday ones that we just launched, you can go to holiday and you could be like, hey guys, you could just send them this link. Hey guys, should we launch a pop-up like this? Any ideas? And you could share it with your team as well. And these preview links also adhere to screen sizes. So they will automatically change based on screen sizes as well. So it's all going to be responsive as well. So it's a fully functional link before you launch it on your actual site. Another kind of quick thing that we launched is when you hover over this, you will actually see the preview as well in a larger way. If it's multi-step, you'll actually see it rotate as well. So you'll see each step as well. It's kind of a fun thing. We have a lot of customers that have like 80 plus campaigns in their account, 80 plus boxes in their account, and they want to be able to see which one's which, even though they look alike. So this is a way to easily see it as well. Conditions monitor. Sometimes it's like, why isn't my pop-up showing? We get that a lot in support. My pop-up's not showing. And there's three things that are usually the issue. One, our JavaScript isn't on the site. Someone removed it. That's usually the biggest culprit. The second thing is sometimes they don't have conditions. So the second thing is, hey, there's no condition applied. The third is there's something messed up with the condition. And so maybe when you're on the site, you're a known user and you're targeting unknown users. So we added this thing called conditions monitor. So if you click on this and you add your website URL, it should be defaulted based on your profile. And then you go to your site it'll tell you every single box and which one is showing or not showing. So in this case, it's saying it's not showing, right? So if it's red, it's not showing. If it's green, it is showing. So you can easily see, and it'll tell you why it's not showing. Hey, you're an unknown user, you're a known user. So definitely check out the conditions monitor. This has saved our support team internally a ton of time. We actually built it for them at first, and then we made it available to all of our customers. So definitely check this out. And it's right under the more section. So if I'm on the boxes tab right here, I go to more and conditions monitor. The other kind of cool thing here is if you just append question mark Digioh underscore conditions underscore monitor and like just this whole full URL, it'll also pull it up as well. So you can go on a very specific URL, maybe like on your blog site, maybe you have a very specific rule that only shows up on one page. You can just add that URL parameter in there as well and test it out there. So this will hopefully save a lot of squinting or scratching heads. So this has been a big win for us as well.
It saved me a lot of squinting.
Yes. So check it out. It's cool to see all the reactions here. All right. So we've been working hard on the business. So not just on the product, we're trying to work on every aspect to really level up. And the big thing that Val has been doing, which is I think incredible, is these type of calls as well as updating, making sure you're updated. So Val, let's talk about our blog a little bit, and I'll hand
Yeah.
it to you.
Yeah. So every month, around the middle of the month, we publish a product release update, and it's going to cover everything that has come out in the product in the last month. Um, the blog posts are designed to be like what you guys really care about. So it's not going to mention all the little tiny fixes and the systems and the back end stuff. That would be more like a change log. This is actually like descriptive, telling you about what it's doing, why it's doing it. There's images. Each post, we've done these now for a few months. This is just the most recent three. I think we've done it for 6 or some months now. And then each month gets, well, all 3 months at a time get combined into one of these webinars. So you can follow along with the product updates. This is in the other thing that we do monthly around that mid-month period is we send a newsletter. So I hope everyone on here gets our newsletter. If you don't, you can sign up for it on our website. You can opt into the newsletter. You will get product updates. You'll get event information. We're always all over the place at events. You'll hear the latest case studies and stories. So the newsletters are a really fun way to share everything we want to share with you without bombarding your inbox every single week. So product updates can always be found on the blog. There's a dedicated section for them. So if you ever want to reference back to them, you can go right here.
It's awesome. Definitely check it out. We also sometimes highlight like what other customers are doing. That's usually the fun stuff, like what's happening that's going really well for customers as well. If you have like a new team member that joined, just add them on. I think that could be a nice thing to do as well.
Yep.
So reporting and dashboards, Val, I think you're the expert here, so I'm gonna drive, but you go ahead and talk through them.
Yeah, so dashboards are often underutilized. There's so many times I go into accounts and there's no dashboard set up, and that makes me sad because you can actually configure a dashboard with pretty much anything you want to. Rishi, go to the next slide. I just want you guys to see this scroll through. There is an endless list of things that you can add to your own custom dashboard. Everything that you could ever think of is probably here. And if you have something that you want to see in a dashboard that's not here, please let us know. Because then you can go back to one before this, and then you can build a dashboard that you and your team can look at. When I was brand side, these were the kinds of things that I loved to screenshot and put into my slide decks when I was presenting to my senior leadership team and the board. So this is a really powerful tool that's designed to help you not only see how Digioh is performing for you, so the all Digioh as a whole, each individual box, each quiz, you can see. I was talking to someone yesterday where we were identifying, okay, well, this quiz has 8 questions and there's a pretty big drop off at question 6. So let's split test it with a 6 question quiz and see if we get more completions. And you could see that through the dashboard chart, where they could see the drop off rate. So things like that can make a huge difference in performance. Dashboards are really, really cool. And I hope every single person on this call has a dashboard set up. And if you don't, you can do one right after this.
Yeah, and just if you don't have access to a custom dashboard, that just means you haven't authenticated with Google Analytics. So
Hmm.
whether you use Google Analytics or not, it doesn't matter. 99% of the clients, our clients have it already installed, but maybe they don't use it. But just authenticate your account with Google Analytics, and then you have access to pretty much anything. And you could build custom reports as well. That's the other kind of powerful tool here. Any one of these charts we have defaulted, but we also can build custom stuff that's layering Digio with your Google Analytics data and combining it. So we have a lot of customers like, oh, I never used GA until I started using Digio. And I actually don't even look at GA. I just look at your data. So some people are getting insights of their own business through our dashboard because it's just layering on top of GA. So it's a pretty powerful combination that we have.
Yeah.
All right. So I think this is my favorite section. Some
Hmm.
of our customers' favorite things. And I want to highlight this 3-step strategy that we're just like rinse and repeating for customers and seeing massive growth. So step 1 is a full screen pop-up. Now, it doesn't have to be a full screen pop-up. It could be a smaller one. The full screen has taken off though. It creates a full brand kind of experience. We actually add a little gradient here so you see the website behind it as well. And then we start with a kind of a zero-party data play. The whole idea is an email isn't as valuable if you just get one piece of data or 2 pieces of data on that email address. You have infinite segmentation possibilities. Now you can talk to them in an email and over SMS in a completely different way. You know that in this case, hey, they're into topicals. They're into soothing support. So let's talk to them very differently. So try to figure out what that piece of data that you would want to really create segmentation. So that's what I love about this. And this does convert higher than a regular pop-up. So definitely check out our full screen pop-ups. That's something we launched about 6 months ago. It's been doing really well. So you can always A/B test that. Now, what's cool is that we combine it with the teaser. So if they close out of this, let's say they're a first-time visitor, they close out of it, we have a teaser that kind of runs from page to page. You can click on it and you can open this back up again. So you're kind of back in the flow. If you click on this, you're going to get added, you're going to be asked for an email address. And then we give a one-time use coupon and we show the banner on every subsequent page until we recognize that they made a checkout. So it's a 3-step journey. And you can upload coupons to our system. We can auto-generate coupons to our system. And this has a click to copy button as well. So this is kind of what I love about this strategy. It's kind of using 6, 7 features all together to increase conversions. Full screen pop-ups, the banner that keeps showing, a click to copy action, the teaser, the zero-party data play. So this is multiple things in one, which we love seeing. And then you can also leverage the same type of techniques on exit as well.
I like
So
this one because the banner is in a really unique place. Most people think about banners as being at the top of the site, but I really like the position of this one. It really catches your eye as you go through the site. You don't, it doesn't become kind of white noise, like a typical banner might.
yeah, welcome back pop-ups. So a few things. First of all, I love people that use. I'm going to talk about one thing. I'm gonna take a tangent here. And people think of pop-ups in 2 ways. They think of pop-ups as welcome pop-ups, and they think of pop-ups as exit intent pop-ups. Those are almost the two strategy. And a lot of people don't even do exit intent, which I highly recommend. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. But the welcome pop-up, everyone just thinks pop-up, welcome pop-up. We show it once and we kind of forget about it. The reason pop-ups are effective is because it's giving you a offer, and it's kind of a little bit aggressive than just your regular site. It's popping up at you. That's the whole point of it. And we offer sidebars and things like that as well. But the one thing I wanted to highlight is Digio has the ability to reach into your email system, like Klaviyo and Iterable and Ometria and all those guys. We can reach into your system and we can personalize based on this. So there's 2 ideas here. The first idea here is that we could target based on the list they're on, the segment they're on, the what they're doing, in your email marketing system. We could target based on that. So we like to get people to come back in on their second, third, fourth visit and display a pop-up based on that. So definitely leverage your pop-ups to get the next sale as well. It's not just about the first sale, it's also about getting the next sale. And so one, we can target based on that, but we can also personalize the entire experience based on that as well, which is what's cool. So we can pull in their name. Maybe the name is creepy, so maybe we not do the name, but we could say, hey, we know you like, we know you like this type of product. So let's talk about that. We know you're this type of member. We know you have this many loyalty points, so let's use them. So any data that's contained in your ESP, we can then bring into the pop-up as well and personalize further. So this is an example of a welcome back pop-up. Hey, what was their last viewed? And we could do this based on your Klaviyo data, your ESP data. This is a little bit more custom, which is kind of cool. How many times they last viewed it. And so we could do welcome back offers right here. Does this, Andrew asked a great question. Does there need to be a sign in to enable this feature? Maybe. Okay, so a few questions. First of all, I love your questions. Thank you. That makes me so happy. Can you autofill forms based on their email per se? Yes, you can absolutely autofill. Love that. You could add it as a ghost text, as a sample text. You can autofill their email address 100%. That's a really good use case. Go ahead, Val. I saw you unmuted.
Oh no, I was going to say we've had people ask if you can uh, auto skip a two-step form. Okay, well, we already have their email address, so we only want to show them the SMS. We can't auto skip, but you can auto fill that email, recognize, hey, we already have this, just hit the button to go to the next step. So yeah, definitely, Shannon.
100%. That's a great idea. Another great idea is like, hey, they come in from an email. We already know they exist. We could actually create a completely different pop-up or embedded form to take them, as well. So definitely great question. And the answer is yes. Andrew asked, does there need to be a sign in to enable this feature? By sign in, do you mean, I guess, feel free to email me any more context. Like, do you mean sign in your site or do you mean sign in somewhere else? So Andrew, I'll expect an email from you, and we can kind of talk about that. But this is available in your account right now. Free
I think
shipping.
Andrew might mean, like a member sign in or something like that. The welcome back, how we're identifying them that they're
Oh yeah,
back. Yeah.
we can absolutely enable that because we can read your cookies, we can read the HTML, and we can only show very specific options to people that are signed in, as long as our JavaScript is running in the sign in wall or walled garden.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Um, Free shipping banners have been really cool. So because we can read the cart value. Let's say you're offering free shipping on anything over $100. As soon as we notice that, hey, the cart value, so this is easy, really easy to do with Shopify. We can read everything in the cart. Hey, it's over $100. Let's now show a banner that says, hey, you've unlocked free shipping. We can also do the thing that says that, hey, you're $25 away from free shipping. So we have a lot of themes around that. So definitely check out our Shopify themes right here. So, we could say, hey, this is how much free shipping is remaining to get free shipping. So very cool features. We have had customers that have 3 or 4 banners, kind of a tiered system as well, which is kind of fun. If you're not using exit intent, definitely use exit intent. There's so many use cases for it. First one is that I was kind of thought was impressed with is, hey, they're exiting. Let's just figure out why they're exiting, right? Like, is it the price? Is it the something else? Like, is it us? Try to figure out why they're breaking up with you in this case. So I love this. Once you figure that out, then let's make an offer, right? Hey, let's give them free shipping. Hey, let's give them 25% off. Hey, did you know we have this product? So there's a lot. Definitely also, if they're unknown to your ESP, they're unknown first-time visitor, let's be aggressive in getting that email address and giving them a coupon so we can trigger an email right away. So if you're not using exit, I highly recommend it. Most customers, most first-time visitors will leave without making a purchase. So just understand and never come back again. That's the other thing. Like, they're not going to come back again. You already lost them. So let's do something to get them to stay that first-time visitor.
The other thing that exit intent is great for is to have an alternative. So we oftentimes will set up a quiz and have an exit intent, a call to action. Go take the quiz before you leave. Go find the right product for you, right? So, but sometimes they get the question of like, well, what do I do with people who have already taken the quiz? Well, that's an opportunity to build a second exit intent and have a different offer. So it could be this like, why are you leaving? Hey, maybe there's a different offer for someone who's already taken the quiz. That exit intent can be a separate exit intent that's kind of anti-targeting quiz takers, or targeting quiz people who took the quiz, and that way your quiz call to action is only showing up for people who have not yet taken the quiz.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, don't just have one exit intent as well. You could target based on,
Hmm.
hey, they're a first-time visitor, they haven't taken the quiz. They're a first-time visitor, they're not a first-time visitor, they have taken the quiz. So there's different iterations that you can make. And then with our site-wide rules, you can make sure that we're not being, you can govern with our site-wide rules. You could say, look, don't show more than one pop-up per page per session. We don't want to be annoying. So you could make sure that you're not, the same user's not seeing the multiple same pop-up over and over again. That's a great call out. Um, Extensions that customers use a lot. We talked about Shopify cart targeting. We'll go over Klaviyo targeting and personalization a little bit. We talked about universal merge tags. A few things that I wanted to highlight. One is internationalization. I was on a call the other day. We've had internationalization, multilingual capabilities for a while now. So let's say you have a site that is all across the world, but it's different languages. You can just have one pop-up that's dynamically driven. So if you're not doing that, check that out. Another fun one is preventing common email typos. If you're seeing, this is not really needed unless you're seeing a lot of this, where like they're typing in, Gale.com, and this is usually more common in like in retail. But if you're seeing a lot of that, or maybe if you're doing like a sweepstakes, sometimes people do this on purpose. So you can kind of say, look, we has to have Gmail, has to have Yahoo properly, Hotmail, we have all the popular ones, and then we'll show actually, hey, did you mean Gmail instead of Gale.com? So definitely check that out. We have the top like, 30 free email providers. So we could say, hey, let's say you're a B2B site. We're not going to offer, hey, you can't put in a Gmail email address into this. So we could do that as well. That's a fun one too.
Yeah, I think the point of this slide is really like this is just a handful of extensions that we have. And taking a look through our list of extensions, it's kind of, this is where our development team likes to play, is like, let's put something in an extension and see how many people use it and like it, and if we need to build it into the main platform. So take a look at extensions. There's always tons of opportunity there, and we've done some reorganizing too of our extensions. So they're right here click on your name, and then they're right here, and you can go through and look at, I think we'd even suggest certain extensions based on your integrations and things like that.
Lisa, great question. Where and how do we check if we're using or enabling the extensions? Just click on extensions and we'll show you.
Yep.
We've done a ton of work on this over the last year. You can upgrade extensions now. We also renamed it. It used to be called like custom JS apps, and now extending the platform. So that's why we call it extensions now. And there's a lot here, and we categorize it as well. So you'll see the ones that are installed right at the top. So let us know. And there's also you can find definitely play around with this, check it out and let us know. And then, yeah, Val's right. What's cool about it is first we just write custom code sometimes for people. Becomes popular enough, we make it an extension. It gets popular enough, we kind of build it into core. So it's kind of a graduation. Some never make it, and that's fine. But it's pretty cool. Like this one, Spin to Win, actually was a custom JS app. It was an extension. So now this is a widget now. And so this is pretty cool. Definitely check it out. Spin to Win is one of those weird things where it's a brand decision, but it does convert like crazy. You know what I mean? It's like, and what's cool with our Spin to Win is you could say, hey, always have it land on free shipping, always have it land on 50% off. It's very engaging. We're actually going to be launching more things like this as well because we've seen so much success with this. But this is our kind of a fun one that we launched. You can edit everything, the color, the copy, you can add images in the background. You can say, hey, show coupon codes, one-time use coupon codes towards the end of it. So there's a lot of fun things that you can do when you configure this widget. And so a lot of different configuration options. You can change the images as well, that are fun as well. This is very high engaging. If you're not doing it, and it's okay with your brand decision, I would definitely try it out and test it out. We have been fortunate enough to be invited into the Klaviyo template library, which is pretty cool. So we have two things that we've launched inside of Klaviyo. One is we kind of created a bunch of themes, Klaviyo email themes actually that Nick and the team did. So definitely check those out. Here are two of ours. It doesn't really, it just says created by Digioh. That's about it. We're about to launch our own Shopify site just to like show our customers what's possible. And that's our Lumine brand. So we're kind of getting a sneak peek on the Lumine brand right there. But the other cool thing is we actually have a product recommendation email flow as well, that we're launching. Oh, sorry, it's already launched. So if you
Yeah.
are using a quiz, you can actually have an automatic product recommendation email that has all your products recommended right in the email.
Yep.
Awesome. Klaviyo pipelines, we've launched a few more of them so that it's easier to do different things. Like sometimes you just want to update a profile and that add to a list. Sometimes you want to trigger an event to, hey, a quiz has been completed that triggers off a different set of flows as well. We also added a multi-step. We're seeing a lot of customers that use this for email and SMS, and they want to be added to two different lists. So we added that as well. So you authenticate with Klaviyo, create pipeline, and you're set. We also did a lot of things with Iterable and a few other partners as well. So you're going to see more and more pipeline templates coming out as well. On the Klaviyo side of things, and this also works in tandem with a few other ESPs, personalization. So I believe someone asked about this where you can definitely leverage it as a text field, but you can also leverage it in an email field. We definitely have merge tags that can be anywhere as well. So the email address is a popular one.
Rishi, I'm going to ask that we skip over Core 6 just for time, and I am going to put a link to the Core 6 in the chat. So Core 6 is like the key core placements that we want, that we recommend that you have your quiz on your on your website, your Digio quiz, placements like header, in a teaser, in an email, those kinds of things. So there's a video from Rishi at the link that I just put in the chat. You can go check that out and make sure that you're checking off all 6.
All right. The core six is important because we see a lot of customers be extremely successful with quizzes, and then we see a lot of customers that fail. And so we study a lot of the failures and the successes and what's different, and it's really the core six. And so something we do during onboarding is make sure people do the core six. So check it out if you had a chance. The big reveal, Val, I feel like you should do the big reveal.
Okay. So we have for a long time, we've had this concept of published and unpublished and on and off. And those they don't mean the same thing. They've meant two different things. And you kind of have to understand what both do and then make sure you have both on. You have to be on and published. Now we have single box publishing. So we've removed the concept of on and off. You only have published and not published. Published, unpublished, unpublished, not published, same thing. So when you are going to publish, you're going to only choose publish. You don't have to worry about on off anymore. And then you can see right here in your box list page, you might have already seen this in Rishi when he went over to his account. You can see this, not published, published. You can also see if it'll give you a little error or a caution sign if there's no conditions set, because it can't be published if there are no conditions. It will tell you if there's a draft saved. So if you've made some changes and you need to republish it. So all of those things will show up right here in your box list. And then also inside the box itself, when you are in here, you'll see that at the top. So this is really, it's actually making Digio operate the way that people always thought it worked. We always had to explain on, off, and published, unpublished. So hopefully this is simplifying things. Like that's the name of the game. What Rishi said at the very beginning with the toggles, we're trying to simplify. Like Digio can do so much. And because of that, we've kind of had this like open platform of here's everything you can do. And most people don't need everything. So we are keeping everything. We're just kind of putting it in little boxes and putting it on the side and saying, here, you can have it if you want it, but for most people, you really just need these 10 things. So that's the name of the game here is like simplify publishing, make it really clear. It's on that box list page. And then, yeah, you can see exactly your status right here inside the box itself.
There's a lot of other under the hood benefits to this. This was a massive effort for our engineering team.
Mhm.
So a few under the hood things that you will do. So first of all, anyone can get access to this feature. Since it's such a big under the hood change, we are rolling out slowly. If you want this and you don't have it yet, we can enable your account with it. So just let us know. We can easily enable it for you. The second thing is what's cool is let's say you have multiple people in your account. What would happen before is you'd hit publish and it publish all, and it kind of creates conflicts. So that'll end that issue as well. So it's gonna, I think, bring down a lot of support issues or conflicts as well. So really excited about that as well. So if you want this, let us know. We can enable your account with it. It is a slow roll. It is feature gated. Some accounts do have it now already. Other accounts don't, but we can always enable it if you don't see it. The biggest thing that you'll see is if you see on off toggles here, that means you don't have it. If you see a publish, unpublish, you'll see it here as well. So,
Rishi, will you click on more right here real quick?
mhm.
So the one thing, sorry, the more on the left.
Oh yeah.
Um, Yep, I want to make sure everyone sees you do still have unpublish all boxes. So some people need that panic button of like, something's broken, let's turn everything off and figure it out. So that's your panic button right there. It is still there. You can still unpublish everything at once. You don't have to go through and unpublish each thing individually
The
and
other
republish.
The other kind of cool thing is you will notice a little bit of a performance impact on our JavaScript speed. It's going to get faster, it's cached better. Because so what would happen before is we'd have a copy of our data on a CDN. And so every time you hit publish, it's going to refetch that, which will make our JavaScript a little slower. Now because we have single box publishing, it's not publishing the entire count. So our CDN doesn't have to get updated as much, which does have a performance boost on the overall JavaScript when this update makes. So we're really excited about this update. I think it's going to be kind of a game changer. And we also laid the foundation down to keep going and improving our site speed as well, our JavaScript speed. So that's part of it as
Yep,
well. And then
really excited about this.
once you switch this, you'll also see this as well, this published, unpublished filter as well. So you can easily see, which one is unpublished or published. All right, cool. David, yes, we will put in that update for you. I would just ping us, and then we'll ping it. What we like to do is when we do it for bigger accounts, we like to make the update, we like to hit publish, and then we like to monitor it for a little bit just to make sure everything's going. And then I think in about a month we're gonna roll out to everybody anyway. So that's kind of our progress for that.
Hey, Rishi, there's a question in the chat. We're kind of at that Q&A section. A reminder to grab the zero-party data playbook. Again, applicable to any platform that you're using Digioh with. It is written for Klaviyo, but you can apply it anywhere, including Salesforce, Timothy. There's a question in the Q&A box. Is there a way to track close clicks for pop-ups or add to box metrics?
Close clicks, it depends on the box and if you're using our native close button or a button that is closing. Um, so the answer is maybe. I would send me a note after this call and I can look at that box. The answer is yes. I mean, it should be possible in general. We can definitely fire events to really any system and record stuff. So the answer is yes and maybe based on your setup.
David says, would love to see a non-white background in the editor. Rishi, do
Oh,
you have anything to
David,
say about that?
David, you're gonna love the next one, man. It's coming in. I'm hoping in 2 weeks, but yeah,
Yeah,
we have a lot coming out there. Yes, you're gonna see that very, very soon. I think Marty would
May,
kill me if I showed it to you right now, but it's gonna be cool. Maybe I'll
yeah,
send you an email with it.
May is looking like a really big splashy month here at Digio, so stay tuned.
Deleting dynamic items in bulk easier. So, Kimberly, that's awesome. I love it when people use dynamic items. Like that's a whole webinar in itself. I think that's a feature we've had for like 4 years, and I'm surprised it doesn't get more love. Um, I would love to do more with dynamic items. One thing that a lot of our customers are leveraging now is Google Sheets to do dynamic items. And in that case, when it's a Google Sheet, you can obviously delete in bulk. So we could kind of talk through that. I kind of have to learn what you're doing with the dynamic items. And then we could talk about like a good path and how many dynamic items you have, maybe the structure, it could be better. So I'd love to kind of understand. Yeah, so Kimberly, we should 200 is a lot. So let's take a look at that and maybe we can figure out a better method for that.
Yeah, let's get on a call together another time, Kimberly, and talk through your use case, and we'll um, figure out some good path forward for you. Elena, yeah, Elena can join too. And Andrew asked about AI in Digio. So what's
Oh,
the plan to incorporate AI into the platform?
so people don't know this, but the text one box automatically has an AI headline generator. So if you haven't played around with it, play around right now. It generates 5 headlines based on if you're e-commerce. It pulls in the description that you put in. It pulls in all the text. So that's already launched. For quizzes, we already have it launched. We can automatically generate quiz questions, generate quiz logic, and add that back into the platform. Our plan, we have a ton of stuff on the roadmap for AI. We want to be able to do AI around the conditions, AI around the images. So we have a lot of big plans. But those are the two things that we have right now.
Yep. Great. Well, we are right at time. You did good, Rishi. Got it all in.
Thanks, Val.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you,
thank you
everybody, for
everyone for
joining.
joining us. Yeah, thanks for sticking with us for the hour. And if there are questions, please follow up with support or with your CSM. Happy to help anytime, walk through any of these new features or any of the old features that you maybe haven't leveraged yet. So stay tuned for future product updates, and I'll see y'all in the next webinar.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you for
Bye.
joining.